All right, next up as we continue along, Virginia Tech and NC State. We've got NC State 10.5-point home favorites, 57.5 the total here in this game. Obviously, it's been a very tumultuous season here for the Virginia Tech Hokies. There's been no mistaking that. Their coach ends up getting fired, Brent Pry. Philip Montgomery, who is the offensive coordinator, and of course has head coaching experience. We remember him head coach at Tulsa. Of course, back in the day. But Philip Montgomery takes over as the interim head coach. So he will not only remain OC and call the plays, but he'll take over as the interim head coach for presumably the rest of the season. They're not going to make their decision as to who they're going to hire permanently as head coach probably until the end of the regular season. But when you look at Virginia Tech, does the coaching change rally the troops? That's always what you have to ask yourself, and it's really a case-by-case basis. I don't think it's ever a scenario where you just, blanket statement it and say, first game after a coaching change, they're going to show up here in this game. Well, actually, they did play last Saturday, first game after the firing of Brent Pry. It was against Wofford. They won 38-6, but they didn't cover, and they're still 0 on the season against the spread, Virginia Tech. Not only the 1-3 straight up, but 0-4 against the spread. And again, Wofford is not really a litmus test of how, if things are turned around. Defense is still, I don't think I trust them very much. The games, at least before Brent Pry got shown the door, were pretty ugly. Vanderbilt scores 44. Old Dominion with Colton Joseph scores 45 against them. And this is a pretty good NC State offense. Now, NC State has a pretty bad defense. They don't have much of a defense, NC State. But C.J. Bailey and company can move the football. I think they're really good on that side of the ball. The number's gone up, 8.5 all the way up to 10.5. So people think Virginia Tech, there's going to be no coach bump here. They're that bad. They're capable of getting blown out. And again, they couldn't cover against Wofford last week. They have failed to cover a point spread so far this season. NC State coming off that loss to Duke 45-33. Again, I thought C.J. Bailey played pretty now, he did have 3 interceptions. That was problematic. But they were moving the ball, and if not for those interceptions, they probably would have scored more points. They also had a lost fumble. So all of the fucking turnover luck was against NC State in that game. They fumbled it twice, and then there were 3 interceptions from C.J. Bailey in that game, kind of masking the fact that they still managed to rack up over 500 yards against Duke. Problem is the turnovers kept more points from going on the board than it would have been. They could add more points if not for the turnovers. So I like this over. I think it gets there. NC State, to me, is a dead nuts over team until proven otherwise. I know with drones, we've got our issues, right? The offense does not look great at all at times for Virginia Tech. The South Carolina game, the Vanderbilt game, Old Dominion, they didn't really get going until they were already way behind. But, there's real problems with NC State's defense. So, gosh, if Kyron Drones can't get something going leading this offense here in this game, then you might as well just make the change at quarterback and try the backup, because if he can't move the football here against NC State's defense, then you might as well cut bait and go to the backup quarterback the rest of the way. So I think the over, I have some interest in that. Could there be a step up effort here? Maybe for Montgomery as the interim coach, but I haven't seen enough in Virginia Tech to want to go to the window. C-Mac, what do you think here? Virginia Tech, NC State.
You don't know, like you talked about, it's case by case, but I don't see it.
No.
It's like, I think this program's in the shitter, Virginia Tech. I think the offense is just awful. They might be able to score some here. I think you just looked at NC State. Their team total is going to be just under 34, right? I'm guessing 33.5.
That's a great point. As I've often said, a lot of times with the bigger favorites, especially when I don't trust their defense, I would rather.
Yes, and I don't.
Total. I would rather have the team total over. And yes, the team total's 34.5 right now for NC State. You get it below that key number of 35. I like that. I think that's a good route to go.
Yeah, because I think their offense can move. And one thing though, with those turnovers were awful, and it has been a little bit in that game. That was Duke's problem.
Yeah,
Duke took care of the ball this week.
Turnover battle for a change after losing it to Tulane and Illinois, the 2 previous games. Yep.
And because NC State was just going up and down. I like it, Andrew G. CJ baby giraffe. He can look like that at times, but I think they move the ball here. Virginia Tech just and drones this offense isn't very good. And I saw enough. The defense, I don't think, is very good. You know, the 45, 44 to Vandy. I don't know if NC State's going to hang 45. I think they could get over the 35. I'd be on their team total.